Hello everyone. So in this video, we'll be building an application, a project based on some of the things we learned before. So the application we are actually going to build is a password generator, a strong password generator. So a strong password is considered something that is maybe 8 to 12 characters long, and it is actually a mixture of numbers, letters, and special characters. It is not easily guessable, or it cannot be easily cracked. So if you just go to online, if you just search for password generators, or if you actually search for strong password generators, we have a lot of them. Like this first one, we have a lot of online tools, online utilities that can help us generate strong passwords. So this will actually generate strong passwords for us, and with all these special symbols, numbers, lower case letters and higher case letters as well. So there are a lot of utilities that you can actually use, but we are actually going to build a custom one in Python. So we are actually going to be building something with the random module. I've actually got an entire video or an entire tutorial on the random module in Python. It's a really useful module. So although in the documentation of the random module, it is recommended that you shouldn't use it for cryptographic functions or for doing such things like password generation, but we still can use it to generate pretty strong passwords. So there are other Python libraries that can be used to generate strong passwords. If you just Google for it, you will actually get it. If you just search for strong password generator Python library or something, you'll have a lot of them. So for example, if you just Google it, you get a random password generator 2.2.0. These all are Python libraries. There may be more, I'm not sure. So yeah, there are a lot of them that you can actually use to generate strong passwords, but we'll be exploring the random module. So let's close everything. And okay, so let's actually start by importing the random module. So I'll say import the random module, and this comes with the standard Python library, so you don't have to install anything. So now what we are actually going to do is we are actually declaring a variable here called max length. So we'll actually be setting the length of the password here. So a strong password is more than 8 characters long. So we'll consider, or we'll actually set it to 12 characters here. We can later change this if we want. So now what we actually need is we need a list. We need some list of all the numbers and alphabets and special symbols, such things. We need lists of all of them. So I'll just declare uh, a list of digits. I'll say digits is equal to, and we are actually going to declare some digits here. So 0 1 2 3. So we have actually got all the digits here from 0 to 9. So you may be wondering why we have actually put this inside this codes here. This is nothing. We are actually considering them as strings for now, because we may later need to add or concatenate something, so that may cause issues in the future. These are all strings, even though these are numbers, but in Python these are strings because we have used those codes there. Now we need the lowercase letters or lowercase letters. We'll say lowercase letters, and we need a similar list. So I am actually not going to write every one of them. I have uh, already defined it. I already have set it. So I have pre-built something. So now I have a list of all the lowercase letters. Now the same thing goes with the uppercase letters. I have a list of all the uppercase letters. So yeah, I'm actually just copy pasting this just because typing this could actually take a long time. So yeah, these are just nothing. These are list of all those lowercase and uppercase letters. Now we need symbols or special characters. So things like these, this can actually make our password stronger and difficult to crack. Okay, so we have declared the maximum length. We have a list or a list of all the letters and all the symbols, numbers, such things. So now what we are actually going to do is we'll combine everything, or we'll actually add everything. So we'll say combine list, combined list is equal to its digits plus lowercase letters plus uppercase letters, uh, yeah, uppercase characters plus symbols. For now, just don't worry about this. We'll actually discuss what this is actually for after a few steps. So now, if we just look at here, we have list. We have four lists with digits, lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and symbols. So the first step we are actually going to do, we actually need 12 letters, right? Uh, we need 12 letters in our password. So our password should be of 12 characters. So now to actually get that 12, what we'll actually do first is we'll randomly pick an item from all these lists. So from each of these lists we'll pick one random item. So we'll say rand digit, we'll pick up a random digit, and we'll say we'll use the random module. We'll use the random dot choice method. This will actually pick a random number from the list of these numbers. So we'll pass in the digit variables here. What this will do is this will actually pick up a random number, and now we are actually going to say rand, instead of the rand digit we'll actually say rand upper, and this should be equal to the random dot choice, and we'll pass in the uppercase letters here. So this will randomly pick an uppercase character. Now we'll do the same with the lowercase. We'll just copy paste this, and we'll change this to lower. We'll say random dot case, and we'll pass in the lowercase letters. Now once again we need to pick another thing. We actually have to say random symbols, and we'll pick one random symbol as well. So now all this 4 line of code is doing is this is actually randomly picking numbers or randomly picking characters from each of these lists. And so now what we actually are going to do is we will declare a variable here called temppass, and what we'll do is we'll combine everything. We'll say rand digit plus rand upper plus rand lower plus rand symbol. So what we have done here is we have picked up 4 characters for our password here. Out of 12 we have 4 already. Now we just need to figure out the remaining. So if I just print the temppass for now, we'll see what the result is. Let's print the temppass, and if we just run this program, we have 4 unique characters, or we have a combined string of characters picked randomly from this list. And now we have 4 of them, but that's not enough because we need 12 of them to make the password stronger. So to actually do that, what we'll actually do is let's use a for loop. I'll say for x in range. We'll use the range function, and we'll say max length minus 4, because we have already got 4 characters, so the max length in this case is 12. So 12 minus 4, we need 8 more remaining characters. So now we'll actually need this combined list. Now what we'll do is, since we already have these 4 passwords in our hand, we need the remaining 8 passwords. So for that, we'll randomly pick them from this combined list, which is actually a combination of all the lists. So I can actually simply say temp_pass is equal to temp_pass. We are overwriting that variable here, so we'll say temp_pass plus random dot choice, and inside this we'll have to pass in the combined list. We are randomly choosing from that combined list. So we have a kind of a temporary password here now, but we are actually not sure if this is strong enough, because there can be repetition. Since we are actually using the random module, we can get repeated items. So what we are basically doing in these 2 lines is we are just looping over 8 times. So max length minus 4, we are actually looping over 8 times, and in that 8 time we are actually picking random elements from this combined list, which is actually a combination of all these lists. So that's what we are actually doing. Okay, so now we need to do something. We need to convert this temp_pass or this temporary password into an array and shuffle it, so that even if we have some same elements, they will be shuffled, and it will make it more complex. So it's actually pretty simple. Import array. It's really easy to actually do. So to actually shuffle this, we'll say temp_pass list. We'll declare a new variable, temp_pass list is equal to array dot array of we have to say u here, and then we have to pass in the temp_pass variable. So what this is actually doing is, this is simply converting this string into an array. So we can actually shuffle it. We can actually shuffle an array by saying random dot shuffle. We have a dot shuffle method, and we can actually pass in the temp_pass list. Here we are just converting this into an array, and here we are actually just shuffling it just to make it stronger. Now let's get out of the loop, and we'll just declare a variable here called password and set it to an empty string. We'll add all the necessary items later. So now we have to say for x in temp_pass list, and we'll say password is equal to password plus x. So what we are actually doing here is, we have a password variable here which is actually currently empty. So and the password is in this variable called temporary pass list. So to actually add this to this password variable, we are simply traversing through it using the for loop, and then we are actually appending it to this string. So this is actually pretty simple. This is just adding everything from this variable to this variable called password. So we can actually simply print it out, and finally, since everything is done, we can simply print using a formatted loop. We can use a formatted string. We can say your random password is, and we'll actually, inside this curly braces, we'll pass in the password variable. Now this should be good to go, and if we run the program, we should get a random password. So yeah, we have got our first random password. your random password is cb percentage, and we have a complex password with items inside. We can run it again, we'll get a new password. This is also pretty complex. If we just keep on running it, we'll get new passwords. So I'll explain this program once again. We are just importing random, and we are also importing array. We are setting the max length or length of the password to be 12 for now. We can change it if you want, you can change it to 8. And then we have some list with digits, lowercase letters, uppercase letters, and symbols, and we are just combining those lists here. And then we are actually getting 4 characters for the password. So we are getting an item from all the lists, we are getting one item from all the lists, and then we are just combining it into a variable called temporary password. And then what we are actually doing it to get the remaining 8 items, we are just using those combined list, the list here, this combined list. We are actually getting items from it randomly using the random.choice method, and then we are just adding into an array, or we are actually converting it into an array, and we are just shuffling it just to make sure that the password is random and strong. And then we are actually declaring an empty variable here called password, and then we are traversing through it using the for loop, and finally we are appending it to the to this variable called password, and then we print it out. So this is actually a simple program. I just wanted to demonstrate the random module. You can do a lot of things with the random module, so this is one among them. So this is everything about the random module. I hope you actually understood the project. I hope you learned something new.